Hey guys, how's it going? Grand Rising, good morning. Still here. PARACONOMY INC. New day, same day for me. New day for some of you. My circadians are all over the place. Welcome to the live stream. How's it going, guys? Professor Fun 101 here. Pervert, Murderer, and PARACONOMY INC. Tapping in here on Facebook here for some quick little civilian disclosure as I kind of ruffle the feathers of a few of my neighbors or colleagues or what have you. And just kind of gonna scroll around YouTube here. Kind of maybe pick up some drawing and sip on some tea while I kind of get the gears greased here. Excuse me. Excuse me, okay. Let's see. I had some breakfast. Let's see. I am taking a break here on some of the... What's a good thing here? Yeah. Deep fried memes. Let's see. Some Mario memes. Let's see. Looking for something kind of Alan Watts. Go ahead and jump into After School. Shout out After School at PARACONOMY INC. Godspeed, God bless. Leave it alone, leave it alone. Oh, come here. Let's do that with you. Yeah. I'm having fun. But also, maybe I didn't show you guys enough of like my end on the metaphysical. You would have gained a lot more if you cheated me differently. but there's still time in that sense. Not that you should do that, but like, also, Alan, I'm gonna need you. Doop. Pause, Alan. Go He said he was wrong. And he wasn't wrong. It's just different gear. Hines? I don't want Hines either, but I do want kind of David Cho kind of vibe here. I was looking for like a newsy thing. I do like shout out David. Let's see. Brain Rot Universe. This is important. I don't want like something too jib-jabby. There's a live premiere. What's the news? Watch live coverage. Says like 13 hours ago. There we go. Right? I don't like it when you flip back. I mean, you can. How's it going, guys? We still live? Cool. Sorry, drifting off here. Excuse me. Let's see. Excuse me. But I don't love it. Oh, that's right. Civilian disclosure. Okay. So right now we're doing. Shh. Yeah. So we're doing some live clairvoyancy here. While we take, I'm going to go ahead and like. So this is embarrassing. Said embarrassing for what? For people's like concepts or who knows? Yeah, a clairvoyant reading on the free vibe here for people to be able to get settled in on some of that tasking, because if you're not doing clairvoyancy on top of it and giving people this suss out so they can kind of like, you need that gold panning, dude. You need that like technique where you can kind of like have this little bit of like thing where you're not sloshing. Excuse my language, it's gonna get a little vulgar here. You're not doing like too much of your like sloshing like thing around. Yeah. So I don't have to censor myself like a whole lot here on the clairvoyant channel. But let's buckle in and buckle up for some surprising things. There's some saucering going on your clairvoyance and the amount of your self. Let me choose my words a little bit as I go too. You choose yourself over the existence like more than you want to. So if you want more reason to push pull here and build tension to give tension and pull, it would allow you to invite some of the already displacement of people's other realities on top of whatever it is that's already going on. So if the clairvoyant channel is like available at PARACONOMY Inc., it's an amount of being able to giving life to some of that as well. So forgive me. It's gonna get a little bumpy sometimes here on the channel potentially, because there are some people who are on the channel and well, it's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. She said, well, it's just me. See, there's somebody on the other end, but it's not. And that's the best part about it. It's not just one person on the clairvoyant line, but it is. And it's at a time because everybody is also existing. Something, a concept and a phrase people used to use, and people also decided to displace as well. So to continue to loop out professional discourse, people are on the PARACONOMY line, and it's awkward for them, and it's confrontational to me, which is why putting people on blast on YouTube Live also adds into the intellectual property of what could or couldn't be utilized as clairvoyancy or telepathy. So if you're gonna be a downer, you're gonna be kind of a drag. You should probably consider the fact that you don't have to be that big of a pushover when it comes to letting yourself beat yourself up over the displacement of somebody else's good times and fun and legality of whatever it is you're attempting to show people the world of their own actions. So as you can kind of pull from people, yeah, like some of my neighbors that want to pipe into the general clairvoyant channel. It's 5:31 a.m. This is why I went live, is because I figured it wouldn't take a whole lot for everybody to just start cheering up here and getting a leg up on the day. Speaking about getting a leg up on the day, why don't we put out these wildfires out in California and we can maybe cheer some people up. God bless, Godspeed. Lead with love, lead with love. Let's see. Yeah, a little crazy. Fun though. Yes. Let's hit this with God. Is it working? All right. You see everything? It's a crystal on a disco ball of magic. You said this is cringy. This is terrible. I said it's gonna work. It's gonna work so well, everybody. And these ladies are wearing purple, or if I can call them ladies. Excuse me. I'm going to be, yeah. And you're like, let's throw them a bone here. Let's see. It's hard to do. You should get it on video. I said, duh. So here I am doing a thing on video for everybody so people can understand the process. You gotta understand the process, everybody. Maintain control here, okay? You gotta maintain control. Godspeed. God bless. Lead with love, lead with love. Amen. Bless the YouTube screen right now. Go ahead, touch the screen. Just whatever. Yeah. Bless it. Amen. God bless. Doop. Doop. That was a special dupe. Guys. Oh, hey, guy. Hey. Anyways, I'm gonna get canceled, and we're gonna celebrate that Jesus Christmas Baby got canceled on YouTube after Paraconomy, 5:35, divine time. Trust in the Lord, and the Lord will give me strength. Yippee! Come, I'm blasphemous. Now I'm being blasphemous. Cancel me. Everybody look the other way. It's Professor Fun with the at 5:35 in the morning. And this is just how you get to the best part in the day. We just had to switch gears for everybody and just turn a few things off as we're going. And we just get a little bit of this in me and get a little bit of that in me, and everything's going to be A-okay. I'm going to start my day off with the right fitting and a footing and pudding. We're going to get everything aced out. We're going to aced it out. A-okay. Okay? Anyway, here we go. What's today's date? I'm gonna. It's subtle. Yeah. So subtle, YouTube. It said hip hop in the morning. Here we go. Fatal Frame. So I had a dream. I was in Fatal Frame, the video game. Has anybody played Fatal Frame? I'm rapping now. I can't turn off the rhyming. I've been recording some hip hop music. And it's been a fun little seasonal winter thing that I'm getting myself into. And so like I'm taking care of that, and like I like when things stick around on my life a little bit, maybe a little too much sometimes. So like that's kind of where I have been able to buckle down a little bit, excuse me, on other people's lives, and then kind of negate what's going on in my own. I wouldn't recommend it, but like I've done everything there is to be done pretty much, and not quite yet, because I'm still living, but like I've done this stuff that can't be undone. Let's put it that way. Because let's take another take. I have done some things in my life that like can't and maybe should not have been taken adversely. Here's a fun dream. I'm in the back of the putt golf course, and there's some weird behavior going on here. And yeah, it's creepy stuff here because it's like something in my dream, but it's a place that I've been to, Lake Nipissing. Um, when you go to the back where it's like got a bunch of like like piney trees and stuff like that. I think there's a Bigfoot back there or something strange. Because like I've but I've like been there in real life, but then I've been there in my dreams and stuff. And there's some things that stick out to me in some of my clairvoyancy. 5:39 a.m. over here. We're gonna go ahead and like write this down. Um, yeah, there might be some weird military stuff going on in Michigan. Which is why I might kind of bring Bigfoot up sometimes because my grandfather, um, my grandfather introduced me to Bigfoot when I was like wee little baby. I remember being like 2, 3, 4. Like once I was like old enough, like 5, 6. Like I was up on my feet, walking around, 6, 7. Grandpa was like always hunting and stuff like that, and like I remember sometimes he'd be watching like videos of like Bigfoot, and this is back in the day when basic cable had those types of more exotic programs on TV. Something they don't really do as much anymore, like the show Taboo or Ripley's Believe It or Not. Different like fun educational, kind of eccentric, exotic, like sort of historical findings and like archaeological like novelty and like shrunken heads and stuff. Yeah. Um, but digressing, shrunken heads. Yeah. Question mark, question mark. Okay, and then this Lake Nipissing. Um, pine, pine trees. Yeah. Lake Nipissing pine trees. Um, uh, Someone just said you're the devil in this. I'm just listening to the news. Um, and I'm pulling out some of the embellishment here from my selective hearing. Okay, so that's something that's like, yeah, there's this thing going on with me and the devil. Um, Unfortunately, and very fortunately, but also in very weird ways for people. My birthday being on Christmas is like a duelist's nightmare, or like playground, right? Okay, so like, um, if you were to kind of find that like that little difference in between, um, I have weird paranormal shamanism experiences with my like Hawaiian lineages and what I went out to seek um over like high school to college, in some of this more eccentric end of like theology and anthropological findings and Ripley's stuff. And like I was into skateboarding, and I was into these guys, Blink 182, and that's just typical like boy stuff growing up here in this state sometimes. So like when you find out that's like gonna go on in the background, you forget about that because everybody's gonna go do this, right? And then so like if that's like something that's been following me at all, and if they tapped into this and said, hey, it's real, and people started waking up after the certain things happen, or there's on top of that, it's just a generalized wash of experiences that like have coalesced to more rare memories. And if we're pulling from a sort of a photographic library of like experiences, and we're finding out that our phones and our minds kind of connect with some of the cameras, and the AI embellishes like something and picks up any signal from our third eye and our clairvoyancy into some of this more alien kind of tech for us, which get into this conversation of like Luciferian design, to take another layer into why it is I'm talking about this part of whatever somebody just pointed out on the clairvoyant line. You are the devil, or you're the devil, is like even as sarcasm. It's a little strange to kind of, yeah. It's so strange to like be able to pocket some of these things for people and compartmentalize them, because it seems like that is a wild part of our like fifth dimension, and so you're so simian, or it's so simian, yeah. 5D, it's so simian. Okay. Yeah, so I have a lot of weird visions and things like that that I haven't really been able to milk a whole lot of. So I think that might have something to go into the interests of like what it is to look past the veil of our third dimension and like kind of bring into light of like what's possible in our fifth dimension, because it does seem to be something that if this is something that followed me from something that I used to be into, went away or changed into something else, and then resurfaced in my life. How did that happen? And how did it bring me back to point A after like a lot of like loss, basically a lot of disconnect and ostracization and alienation even, right? So we're talking about like recollection, so photographic, graphic recollection, can't spell, yeah. Dyslexic thinks too fast, but yeah, if I'm diagnosed ADHD, so that might be another thing that we'll have to look into alongside of it, but that's a different thing. My point here is that if there is some sort of like synchronicities happening here on like correlation for like in like integrity of like the underlying thing, then like it would just like lay waste to some of its own excuse me, if it would give its little bit of jarring of belief towards a a consolidated concept to be able to give people and like if we're just capable of reaching that sort of inertia, it gives the feeling space, because you create depth with this thing, right? So like if our phones have any of the weird crystals or metals that resonate with what we have here, it kind of has, and this rock, okay, this crystal, you're the devil, yeah. So let's put that one down too. I have a nice little malachite crystal. She's beautiful. The dang thing is really cool. Let's see. Do you like, yeah. Right. So like this crystal is a little bit of a meteorite that basically it's a type of rock that can be found a lot of the time in a lot of different places, because there's been different things that have happened on this planet, with our knowledge and without our knowledge. So like that's where we kind of like do the research, and we end up finding there are like certain places where it's more dense and it's easier to mine, and there are just kind of, excuse me, there's just this like whole like thing between this whole 5D 3D clearance between what I'm capable of expressing through any chakral resonancies and consistencies by being able to project myself all around technology, and kind of giving it like I have a now I just kind of segue over here. I have a poltergeist in this apartment complex, and like sometimes it'll talk to me much like a Stranger Things like kind of theory. So like, and people kind of get that, but I feel like if you explain this a little more like regular, clear as day, people are gonna have a little more palading for like the concepts that we know to be true, but we're not willing to open up an entire dialogue over the like disclosure on how we consider the fact. Now these are cool. These are the nanoleaf lights, I believe that's what they're called, or what are these things? That's what they're called, right? Yeah. And these have like some old school these have like the old school, why didn't I think of that? I have a flipper for it. um these have the old school Wi-Fi channels on them that do like some lower frequency radio wave. So like I just thought I do this thing, and I'll show you guys really quick. I got a flipper, and I've been tinkering with this thing here. Saying hi to my kitty cat. He's a good boy. Yeah. So, yeah. I do believe this place has a poltergeist, and a lot of buildings in Michigan do, and across the country and the world. Um, it's just to the severity of like your inertia, and that's where things can get complicated. But if you're clairvoyant and you build the right um, if you build the right relationships with it, um, it can be it can be sort of well, it can be kind of more dealy, where it'll bargain over things here. So let's see. Um, yeah, which yeah, there is that sense of thing here. Now let's see if I can get this bad boy to go off here. Let's give it a doop 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 doop. I want remote. No no no. Whoops. Let's see. Here we go. Why don't I just do it like this? I'm silly. I'm always. Yeah. Okay. Universal remotes. Go learn. Yeah. Boop. No. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Sometimes this thing will talk via like color code, and if placement, that inertia has an effect on some of this, as I was saying, um, OBS disconnect. This thing said I'm gonna get a bad connection. It's creepy. Okay, and then it's creepy. Okay, which paranormal activity often is. So like, if you look into that little bit of difference, people are gonna try to like start to figure out the difference between what it is that you can have in adding to something that like gives 6 a.m. over here, something that gives you the beneficiaries of whatever it is that can help you uplift or sort of weigh down in what it may be, as the metaphysical reality has its way with how much or how little the displacement will be over your own experience. So the more depth you're willing to weigh in on in reality of the third dimension, it can displace how much weight you will ascend in occurrence to the 5D in that sense. So as you go, you can find out how much depth you're displacing through your phone sometimes, and it will give you a sort of estimate on the algorithmic displacement, particularly on your chakral resonancies and consistencies with some of this crystal stuff going on, and taking it out for a spin basically. You can find that wavelength of like consistency. So if this is, and we'll backtrack here, if this is connected to my dreams and people are starting to find my likeness outside of paraconomy, it means that there is a beating or a wavelength of dissonance that could be occurring over something that didn't naturally occur, or is also like, or is just slightly out of place from our own centralized reality. Now this creates a Dopplering sort of polarity, where the concept of your of your sort of existence will also be like the brightness almost of that consistency is going to create the heat, and so like that is where the science behind like creating rifts in time, and like the episode in Rick and Morty where Morty's breaking through the big thing and rip in space, is basically what it does. It creates what's it called? What's the concept called? Let's look for it really quick, because this is basically how you can utilize some of this crystal technology in essence with some of the alien technology that can basically be utilized and is being studied potentially by plenty of other places in our universe and our dimension, potentially even this one. So let's see. Rick and Morty. Morty. It's like the bad Morty. Zero. They're trying. What are they? What is it? The curve. The finite curve. That's what it is. Finite curve. Yeah. Okay. So like, I didn't have. I just wanted to figure it out what the concept was, and this is the concept of the finite curve, and how we can initiate basically a realm of astral projection, also patented here at Paraconomy. These ideas and concepts are things that I've been working on for quite some time, and they've allowed me. Here we are at 6:06 a.m. 6:06 a.m. divine time, and light speed, wavelength time travel, and creating this almost Dopplering and friction opening and portal ripping of what you might consider something to be an event horizon. Okay, so we're going to open up event horizon, and 3D to 5D, clear, and yeah, that includes a lot. Uh, um, and technology, basically light speed technology. So that's pretty evil. Um, and that's kind of one big reason why people could potentially realistically be getting caught up with some of the things that have ended up, well, putting me in jail, getting me evicted several times, all sorts of bull crap. So like that's kind of one big reason why in my country and in Michigan, finding out discoveries of totalitarian design might give people more faith on the absolute of things like um, speeding tickets for weed and stuff like that. So I think people are going to kind of feel the burn and the sting on that justification if this were to surface in a court of law at all, because it shows people that I know a thing or two about malachite and how it affects planet Earth. And if that doesn't give you faith in the fact that I may or may not be a reincarnated version of Jesus or Buddha, then maybe you're for a second have a good point that having a Christmas birthday does kind of add into the intellectual function of what can be possible here at Paraconomy Inc. Now that we have your attention, welcome to Paraconomy Inc. My name is Professor Fun 101 and the Pervert Murderer! And I'm going to be here kind of playing a little bit of detective on the clairvoyant channel line so that way people can give themselves a few lessons in metaphysics and fun and safety between the two. Because while this stuff is really, really neat and it's really new and there's a lot we can pull from it and study from it, there are some things that maybe perhaps we need to take a look under some of these rocks sometimes to get a clearer vision of what could be possible, right? So food for thought, that is something that people are going to be able to utilize. Someone said have to brush your teeth, the Bill Horn, something. Yeah, sounds like it could be. So, reminder. Reminder. Brush your teeth. But smoke weed, guys. Okay, legalize mushrooms. Smoke weed. Okay, Paraconomy Inc. Godspeed. God bless. Legalize psychedelics. Legalize drugs, dude. Close the drug war out. Close the culture war out. I just closed the fucking loop here on the thing. Fucking end it all. We can close out. Close the company. Burn it all down. Run it up a bill at McDonald's. Let's throw some burgers. Woo-hoo. Hello, everybody. It is me, the devil. Hi, guys. Yeah, that sounds like Satan. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Team Cap, hey! Team Cap. Never told you about the time I created the planet. Alright. So, I believe Capricorn is God and created the created the planet of between the planet and the Earth, and it was good. Amen. Created the finite curve. Yeah, no, a theory that's existed, but you explained it in a way that makes more sense. Um, so that's always gonna make more money. Green tea and hot chocolate. Anyways, yeah, you just like kind of shut down shop on crystal magic, and you made it make sense as a science. So that's important for people with computers and flippers and clairvoyancy, because they're gonna have a heyday today at 6:12 a.m. trying to explain this to their coworkers and peers. So Godspeed, God bless. Yeah, I'm killing it. This is live, Paraconomy live, and oh, looks like I couldn't connect over here, but are we still streaming? It must be working here. Let's find out. It's me. Let's see. My videos, right? One view. Okay, am I live now? I may not be live, damn. Uh-oh. It says streaming though. So yeah, at least we wrote it down. Good deal. Yeah. I am live right now. Okay. Just checking. Cool. So we're killing it. Good to know. Moose Girl technology, yeah. I'm finding out the Moose Girl technology, giving it back to him sideways. Really more flat as I adjust myself. Excuse me, I'm old. Excuse me. Anyways, yeah, 6:16. Yeah. Moose Girl technology, feeding it flat in the curb, dude. Feeding it to him the right way, motherfucker. All right, yeah, dude. Ow. So anyway, here I am. So your web protection isn't fully set up. Enable it now for Satan. No way, Satan. I was born on Christmas. My compadre. I was born on Christmas, Satan. It's okay. We could be best friends then, can't we? We will be fine. We'll flatten the finite curve together, you and me, Jesus. Okay, Satan. PARACONOMY INC. So 6:17. Just having some fun this morning. And that's kind of my hypothesis at any rate. Excuse me. A lot of this is speculation, which is the best I can do. And that is sort of a good reason why it's okay to pull from experience in this newer way of being and achieving achievements and like kind of gathering roll call over the possibility. Now this is fun. I don't know what I'm looking at. Let's see if I get back to that wildfire thing at live. Here's a live one. It's a live chat one. I hope everybody yeah is okay in California. I pray for California yet again. It is dry season. So this happens a lot. And unfortunately, yeah, probably too much, unfortunately. But who knows? Hopefully everything's gonna work out. And send your love and your prayers and thoughts there. They're gonna need some for a little bit too. God bless, Godspeed. Yeah. So yeah. At any rate, that's sort of one big reason I got into this part with those guys. Once they let me know that was what was supposed to be kind of looking at here, potentially, I sort of went with the job title and I said, oh, well, that's gonna change everything for what it used to be for me when I would try to emulate music and popular culture and needing a freedom outlet of expression and that's sort of a luxury and also deficit of a dividend. a lot of fun art alliteration over here. So we're gonna be able to kind of give that some life and spin a few roulette wheels on this bad boy on some of the disclosury things going on, because it gives enough of the lean way towards its own sort of self-guidance and acuity, because it's got to take into effect of excuse me of some of its own innate, if that's a word. Yeah, if that's a word, it gives it's a roll out. It's hard for me to explain it, but it's this predecessor to its own. Boop, boop, boop. It exists in the concurrent cyclical forwarding and backward roll of its like thing. It gets complicated. It's fun to talk about. I could talk about it for hours and days, which is kind of why I'm making this channel, because I feel like if I can just start peering through even a little bit, even though I've fallen off, I'm blocked, AI's got my back, but also there is so many things going on in the world that it's got to this part. And it's just a very interesting coincidence that all of these things are so overachievable in society, while many things are still completely underachievable. So if we're living if we're living in the difference of having, like, say, third world navigational capabilities in one building, say we have a fourth wall of what it is for that part in like believing and stuff like that. Excuse me, I've had a sore throat over the past like few weeks here. There we go. Yeah, I kinda gotta break it up here. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Uh, so, I heard in a bikini, a little bit of a Speedo. Yep, you can find me in a bikini online. And like a few years ago, and probably still on the fly. It's great. Anyways, you guys should do whatever you want. If that includes whatever. I'm from Michigan. Anyway, I'm a dual state ambassador. I probably should be in Hawaii, but I'm not in Hawaii in a bikini or a Speedo. And I'm from Michigan. And they're gonna put me in jail because of feelings. So it's all alone in my room. I think I'll start a podcast. Oh well, nothing in the dark over here. This is just a dream. I'm going to talk about my dreams. Everybody, just buckle up here really quick. We're gonna disclose some civilian disclosure. Really, really different. And that's how I became a CEO. And now I'm a CEO. So, welcome to PARACONOMY Inc. I own an S Corp. I found out that S Corps have didactic vivisections and coalesce economy, and so I had to create Paraconomy. And now I understand the ins and outs of UI and temperance. Temperance and temptus. Yeah, I'm back on the dead Latin. Okay. Yikes. Okay. So, it's 6:26. Welcome to Paraconomy. We like to have fun over here. Um, we're gonna get people going at 6:27 now. We missed it. I caught it. Here, 6:26, 6:27. Grandiose. Somebody may or may not have caught it besides me. Good. Lulz. Lulz. Yeah, okay, Chicago Dream. Here. So we went from this to that. Let's open up Chicago Dream. Excuse me. Burp. Okay, so yeah, we're at the mall. Yep. And it's kind of a lot of walking, and then there's a. Is this where maybe I'm getting involved with some gang life activity later down the road? Okay. Um, and I'm like walking around, but this is the weird part of like this dream in Chicago, and it leads me to believe this weird part um about living in an enclosed environment. For whatever reason, this has been a weird lead on my civilian disclosure here, is that we may or may not have migrated, or there's some back rooms or something going on. To me, I say it's like back rooms dealing, where we end up we have back rooms, but it's like some interesting, like, not so cliche thing. Let's see. So like, but it's like Hunger Games at the same time. So like, you never know what the heck is really being interpreted and what's being oversaturated at any given point, which is why creating like this little bit of like barrier breaching in like kind of like personal information and exchange of dichotomizing it against whatever it is in this whole versus, kind of gives people the the anchoring and like absolutes that they're gonna need to be able to like weigh down during a storm of like chaos and stuff like that, because we're just gonna have to look at in our country 4 more years of like a Republican forum, and that's not always bad. That's not always good. But as you can see, it is a big part of the bipartisan system that is kind of encapsulating and like exploiting some of the things that could may or may not in fact be controlling us and weighing us down in space time, because if it's an amount of finance or inertia or place setting, it kind of gives you this whole facade of having it down pat when you just simply may have a few tighter extensions where you don't have to worry about the necessity over the convenience and the luxury of like that concept. So if we were to break down the mall dream here, we're gonna do inner world, because this is the concept. There's an inner world beneath the planet um, um, that we're like, some of us are allowed clearance, some of us aren't, and it's strange. Or what the clairvoyance has been calling the bubble. Okay. Um. Yep. Alongside. And this is where what I have and what they have, it comes into this weird coincidence here, because they're calling it Neuralink. Some of them. Yeah, it's but my I'm pretty sure there's some other things going on here that nobody's really wanting to like do here. Okay. So I'm gonna just go ahead and disclose some things here. Neo. I cannot spell. Excuse me. Neuro link. Okay. Neuralink. Sorry, I'm just having a goof in here. Let's see. Neuralink. This bottom section's lit. Okay. Neuralink. And then. Okay. Hypothesis. Here's another hypothesis here. Hypothesis. The 5D and Dreamscape link. Crystal magic, and also magic, alchemy, and like third eye blinking. Yeah, you just hear it say blinking like that, or just like you sensed the feel of what we just explained on the finite curve. Yes. Okay. So that is, how do you feel that? That is a monitoring spirit. Okay. So we're gonna kind of backtrack here. Okay, and there's this spiritual court, right? Okay. So, as we talk about science and physics and metaphysics, you start to understand how these things could all end up coalescing and like becoming more consolidated towards a specific like function. Yeah. So we'll just do with function, right? With function. So like that can be where I'm kind of like jumping in ahead. I'm getting ahead here. But here is the hypothesis of the 5D dreamscape link for the crystal magic and alchemy connecting to some of this biological alien technology. Okay. And we're gonna like kind of like Okay. So if there is this inner world here, okay, and our dreams are also having this like beating in and out of this finite curve here, okay, it makes as much sense to me that if we are overachieving in some of these realms of experience, that we're able to kind of grift the void, so to speak. And I'll put that down here. 638. And in displacement, if you're attempting to fill or liquidate an asset over a deficit, it adds into this floating kind of phenomenon and function. So as you displace this 5D to 3D enigmatic kind of resonancy, excuse me, it can send radio wavelengths back and forth between what we know to be true on the pineal scope and like kind of what that may re-trigger in people's experiences. So if that's the case for finite time travel and curvature length and frequency and speed and whatnot, it would lay waste to its own sort of inception, where it like gives itself the breakaway from the first to the second to third, fourth, fifth, sixth multiplicity and multiple dimensional, like basically drifting dimensionalities using this type of almost it's kind of what people talk about with ketamine and how ketamine can help you have this multiplicity effect. Now, I've never really been somebody to try. That's one that I never really had on the list that way. But like, I feel like through some of these weird dreamy things, I sort of have gotten this like exposure to it as well, which kind of sends it off into this part here. Let me get a nice new page. It's 640. So displacement. That voice sounded like it said witch boggle. Yeah. Let's see. Displacement. I said about 10 minutes as the snow plow just went by. Snow plow guy, or like just like garbage truck or something. Let me check this here really. Excuse me. Not that deep. It's just a garbage truck thing. Give me a sec here. Oh, I gotta stretch it out. Yeah. Yeah. So aliens, right? And Bigfoot and these dreams where the government isn't there. Okay, but also it's kind of weird because like it seems like there's something else going on in this little bit of uh this thing, right? And that's where I can't really figure out the difference between um this thing where if I got human trafficked back there, and if I can't tell the difference between a nightmare, well, if I can, and this does seize it out, because if I can tell the difference between my waking state nightmares and then my lucid dreams, and I know the difference, would that mean that I've been living potential like multi-staged lifetimes within this one reality during my waking state life or my like falling asleep, because like it feels like there's this passage between our 5D reality and our 3D reality that you can actually jump time travel over across onto. It's strange on how you're able to jump through this convergent of like time space and dichotomization in reality, but utilizing the finite curve and this light speed telepathy time travel availability, utilizing some of the likeness of paraconomy, you can find its own type of like occurrence outside of that naturally. So if we synthesized it and I just happened upon it in a more organic route here at Paraconomy Inc., it makes sense that there is enough there to do single-handedly in one lifetime to display several other things throughout time, space, and multiplicity. So if I've existed and I'm currently existing in several different channels of my own existence during time lapsing, and I'm able to pass through the rippling effect of multiplicity, it would make sense that potentially if we were unfolding and unraveling light photons and photographic memories along a caustic kind of exchange of this alchemical, ethereal, enigmatic equation, it adds into that um, impact, right? 646. It adds into this, it leaves an imprint. Okay. This is how ADHD works on some of the clairvoyancy. Okay. Um, and it's how you have to use some spectral analyses, and this is the groomed thing of why the CIA kind of chose me. Okay. So like here you have an instance. Yeah. On track. Yeah. On an instance, because it they had to they can and they know, but like also whatever I did, they need, they want, they need, and they want, and they've been trying to get, and they zorped a lot, but they don't have everything. Just like always. But yeah, it does seem like there's this different indifference and this beat or this dissonance. Excuse me, and it's creating this. It's creating enough displacement. Excuse me. What did I eat, man? Yeah, I ate ramen. I ate a grilled cheese, a Raptor Girl grilled cheese. I ate those more of those things. Oh yeah, that's what it might be. Excuse me. It was those things. Fruit. Yeah. Yep. I'm gay. Ace. Yeah. I'm pretty much A's, but I'm not fully A's. I am these days though. And like, yeah, it's getting sleepy time. So no napping on YouTube. So I just took like 5-second nap. Don't worry. I'm gonna drink my chocolate green tea. It's like hot chocolate green tea, low key. It's kind of bussin'. I made a song last night and it's really awesome. I haven't put it up anywhere. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with these projects that I've been doing. They're fun. They're thrifty and they're pretty neat. But they're kind of kooky. And really racist. So forgive me. There is really bad, and I wouldn't want some of these songs to hear the light of day. I was just testing some things out and seeing if it was gonna be okay, and we recorded them, and it's awful. And now I have a memory of how racist I can be. And hip hop has changed. Has changed only slightly to towards the right again. He said, "Nope, get away from us, Professor Fun. Too liberal." And he said, "Come back. I'm gonna say things I'm not allowed to say here on YouTube." But I'm having a fun time. Oh, shout out Z Loopers. Yeah. And Chester Watson. Heck yeah. Shout out Brad. Brad J. Yeah, dude. Shout out Danny W. Shout out Ion. Shout out, yeah, all of the above, yeah, whatever. Shout out, pee pee poop time, everybody. Froggy fresh, wee. boo time! I don't think that's what he's doing per se. No. But we could make him say pee pee boo boo on Paraconomy Inc. I might have to pay him to do that. He's doing stuff like that nowadays. I might go look into whatever it could be. I'm drugging up my tea with caffeinated coffee beans. I want this egg. So you should flash the camera. That's my other job. I'm not gonna flash this camera. I'll flash. I can't flash these guys. Grab hold. Don't worry about what's going on in here. Worry about what's going on in here. Or in here. Hold my hand. JK. Roll full copter. Hold on. What if turfs are like, I get it. Whatever. Trans people become turfs and they're just like, whatever. Yeah, once you go alien, you never have a baby again. That doesn't until you go far enough to alien girl time. She'll hook you up. Alien girl time. Yeah. Alien boy time. Hey, what's going on? Different but the same. Oh! Are black people aliens? I wasn't gonna say it. Are you allowed to demonetize for asking that? Because this is a race science. Okay, but if, like, you're just having sex with black people, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not black until I am black. So what does that mean? Are we all black? Are we allowed? Are we allowed? No. You're not allowed, crip out all day if you must. But everybody needs to understand that simply does not facilitate the use for all of this entomology towards its own alchemical signaling, right? Because otherwise you rep the set in the wrong address and you end up with a screech, and you don't want to end up with none of that scrapple on you. So like that could be ouchie. Yeah, you don't want to ouch your face, dude. So like that's kind of one questionable mark of missing the mark. 6:56, 6:57 here on the clock. Paraconomy Inc. So yeah, I mean, just be safe, everybody. Life do be getting hectic from time to time these days, and everybody has a place to be. So like, if that's the case, stay safe, right? So like, stay safe, everybody. Yeah, we'll just write that down. Stay safe. Okay. Right. Everybody has a stripper life. Everybody has a street life. It's okay. Everybody just disclose and disrobe. We're here at PARACONOMY Inc. You're gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna have a fun time. Everybody's gonna learn a thing or two about the hippie world that I've been able to endow myself with through the lens scope of art school and Columbia College. Everybody go to Chicago and go find my records, and they'll be like, "Hey, that kid's trouble." And then they'll be like, "Wait, he stayed here for 7 years. Did you ever talk about flattening the finite curve through alchemy, or like just anything about Christmas?" Oh, well, Christmas, yeah. But what was that first part? Don't worry. He was just asking about this thing. Anyways, what's going on in these dreams? These are in the library. Yeah, but what are these dreams? Yeah, that not supposed to be back there. Yeah, but like, all right, let's go. It's back there. Can I come back here? You're not allowed. Oh, cool. I'll go this way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, oh, wow, I'm so back here. This is this is amazing. Yes, where exactly is that? Well, this one's Big Lots. Yes, yes. But that one in the back here, yeah, that's weird. That's theirs. Kinda. Is that Nvidia? Yeah, it could be. But what are you doing in that part? That's for the nomadic societies of the Anglo-Saxon river dancers. Yeah, dude. Sorry. Okay. I'm racist. Guys, you got me. I'm gonna be a little bit picky on this channel. Um, but all I can really say is that we've been able to break free from the constraints of consolidation over standardized ideologies and theses over mono and polytheism. So any Gnosticism, like so and so was trying to talk about, like a pro, which is nice. I'm glad these little Zoomer people are trying out different things. I'm trying this coffee I made out of green tea and snot, and coffee, and it's great. And it's it's you know, a whole world of magical time, magical places here. Everybody has magical crystals, and you know all about doop doop and that doopity doop. Listen to the doopity. Don't touch doop time yet. Let it go. Let it go. You mustn't dupe live on the tubes. Okay. Welcome to PARACONOMY Inc. I need to settle down because I think I'm making people a little too excited. Sirens going off. It's the Popo coming in with the super circuit. Dog. Governor's silent. That's Hollywood Boulevard encampment. Like it's camp for action. I mean, technically, it does do stuff like that doobie doing songs going like that, man. So watch out. major cities often like will just throw down and they're like, we finna have a war, my man. And like they are real bad these days. So like that's why I don't protest as much anymore either. Cause if I'm Jesus and I'm supposed to be like help, but you'll probably see, you'll probably see me doing what I do, someday. Who knows? Or not. But I'll just keep protesting this way, um, which is rock and roll. So, like, in some sense, the world has yet to see the finite curve on my antithesis of this statures and regulation of my enigmatic freedom, my theology, and my cesspool of thought and fun, because this is a lot of I'm able to because I sold my soul for this type of like welfare on hedonism and stuff. So in a sense, like it's dealt with, it's been done, the cards were set, tables set, and like I'm eating, so like that's kind of yeah, I'm a bully too. I used to not know. Now I know, and that's much better because like I'll be a bully to people for not standing in their honesty too. And I feel like, especially in this country, honesty, people being honest, is probably going to be useful for people who want to like keep things nice, for next generations or just simply the next person who needs to use it. So like that's gonna be good for everybody here on YouTube and Google to have this little bit of thing, um, going back and forth between left to right, and then the middle moves, right? People don't like to pretend like they know what they're talking about for a second when they're looking at politics, but I think it's always important to create your own lane of existence. I didn't vote this year. I'm probably would have, but like I'm also like kind of on this like de facto house arrest via mob law, and like the whole town of Lansing, Michigan, and like country and then internationalities because I've been human trafficked by a Russian malware bot. And so like my social security and my RNA and DNA, and now here could be kind of where this inner world one can go to here, is I have this thesis on and like hypothesis on the human genome. And so if they have my DNA and RNA and my hypothesis from the dark web, they're basically finding the cap of it and seeing how fact based in reality we can use as information applicatory towards its function. So we're gonna go ahead and throw in this DNA and RNA wave table granulation granulator, yeah, table wave table granulator, and yeah, what's in motion stays in motion. That's very true. So complex transient wavelength, we're live. And that's sort of where 707, gonna write these synchronicities here. inner world. Back to this inner world thesis. And how they're, throw into, let's see, dark web, alien DNA, RNA, and non-human entities. And then UI or UX and the AI algorithms. Dexterity. Between 5D, and 3D, or we'll put multiplicity. And dimensional drift. PARACONOMY INC. So, excuse me. So, this crystal right here came from space, and so did we. That's kind of fun concept. Everything we know to be true is technically also from space. So like that's kind of comforting to be like, oh look, an absolute. And people will be like, that's great. That gives people solace and solidarity towards that absolute and what we can like articulate with it. That's sort of how they, excuse me, I got an itch in my nose. That's sort of how we, excuse me, that's how we kind of like followed Aristotle or Plato or Socrates when they were like kind of playing with those planetary theses and what became law at some points and some ways, and then it gets railroaded or repurposed and this or that. So that's where Einstein, Da Vinci, Tesla, all these greats in like science and chaos theory and all these stoicisms and philosophy and existentialism and nihilist existences and maximal minimalist types of brutalism and whatnot. It kind of gave way to what we know to be possible and how much of everything we also know. Talk about like Freemasonry here. Right? And like Illuminatic. Kind of alchemy, and this leads to why I'm wondering more about this inner world is because we have this architectural alchemy in this country that's on my people's soil, kind of. Not to be a dick. Architectural alchemy. But after 34 years of displacement and whitewashing, well, I'll be a little. I think it's my turn to be a dick. Excuse my language. Let's see. So at any rate here, let's see, architectural, alchemical, yeah. So like this led to some of the things in the Salem witch trials as well, because we're time hopping. Salem witch trials. I know I'm not gonna make everybody happy all the time, but I gotta make a point. I'm gonna cut through to make a point. This is YouTube. Hey, welcome. It's Google on the YouTubes, and at some point, I'm sure somebody will get the gist. I'll get the kinesthetics on it. Let's see. So this inner world Freemason will kind of circumvent this thing here and make it kind of, we'll bar some of this here at architectural, and then like streamline on that. So like utilizing the likeness of other things, because back to this fun one of whether or not I'm Jesus, and if I'm the Antichrist, like devil version, right? So like it gives way, it breaks way to this whole kind of sensimilia sigma male kind of anthology of some of the stoner references that come in and out of our like reality. So like if you kind of gain a little bit in and out of your own spirituality, excuse me, be a gross dude over here, excuse me. All right. Gotcha. All right. So yeah, it does kind of have this thing where you turn off the lights and you hold on to the brakes and you just like let go. And there's Joe Rogan, Alex Jones sitting right next to you in about 5 episodes. So like that'll give you a little bit of gold you can kind of look towards, and giving that sense of like your weightedness, because it pulls towards the I having a rioter over here earlier in the astral realm, and I gave him like a high five. So like I don't know what's, to be honest, I don't know what happened, and I don't know what's going on, and that's where I got a little disappointed too. So like, because that's kind of like, I still don't know what's going on. It's kind of fun to not care about who's opposition for once and who is, and just kind of be like, well, I'm just gonna go back to what we were doing before, and I'm gonna lie a whole lot more. So like, there's some of it that's like real cheeky like this, and then there's some of it that's so it's different, and there's some guy who screamed in my ear while I was trans in public. And I'm also like, and he's like checking up on me. Yeah, talk about weird coincidence that well, we both are human beings. So like, more dreams, more trouble, more fun. At Paraconomy and Professor Fun's scalature, we have about 80% fun and 20% danger. Or safety. You can pick. And that's kind of where we like to layer out some of the differentiation, because some things should be probably safe, right? Or dangerous if you're having, right? Whatever, don't die. And that's a variable margin. You can have like 30 or 40% danger and like 60% or 70% fun or whatever. Um, just pull off the covers of reality for the rest of everybody. Wee. This is 18 and up channel, right? No. Well, whatever. Welcome to Michigan. Hey, everybody. This is what's going on under. It's time to wake up. Reality 7:17 to 7:18. Time to wake up, everybody. This is how we have wake up to every day. Yeah. 7:17. 17 to 7:18. Yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah, I lose focus so easily. I have ADHD. It's like, it's like clockwork. Yeah. Yeah, maybe not so much anymore. Yep. So, anyway, that is pretty much what I had planned for the broadcast today, is to get out a few things. I'm low key. How far are we on this? 2 hours in. Good deal. Let's see. I might try to hit the hay here. It's 7 a.m. over here. It's still dark. Um, let's see. 2 hours seems sufficient. We covered the dreams, so I don't know. These dreams are creepy, and like a part of me feels like I got drugged. There's something weird's going on, and like another part of me is like, no, I just have lucid dreams, and I know I have lucid dreams because there's so much weird stuff going on in them. But like if there's this spiritual warfare going on, and we have this proxy warfare, it makes sense that people are just utilizing the 3D towards this enigmatic freedom to simulate. There's lots of loose ends on some of this speculation, but this is kind of the guts of the paraconomy, like hindsight, foresight, and look-see on what's possible in our 3D reality on planet Earth and several other planets that I can't really get into right now, that I have been endowed. Okay. So like that is kind of the census of like what's possible in reality, and we're still trying to unfold all of the rippling effect of what's possible, and giving people a little insight of a proxy kind of miracle. It would show people that there is proof in the pudding, and that if there's a spiritual court and spiritual warfare, then that means that like blessings and burdens are just like a big part of the equation of what comes into miraculous events and catastrophic like decay. So, in essence, yeah, we have yin and we have yang, and they go whoop, and we end up with one whole thing. So that's kind of my thesis here. Is we have plenty of things to look at with this live stream and the underbelly of what's going on in modern day thinking and today's society and how we got here in the first place. So hang on tight. We're going to be going for a bumpy ride here at Paraconomy Inc. with Professor Fun 101 and the pervert here, giving you guys everything we need from my two-person personality display between my two-spirit and your enigmatic freedom. Let's learn the First Amendment this way and see if it doesn't help with science or whatever. And religion in Michigan, it works. It's pure. I promise it's gonna be okay. So, welcome to PARACONOMY Inc. Live. We will be back shortly in the next, well, you'll just have to watch the next video and find out when. We'll see you guys later, 7/22, January 9th, 2025. You guys have a great day. I'll be back shortly. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time. Oh, it's the alien. Hi, guys. It's just for certain. Oh, alien Satan. It's okay. We're only...